What's up, Shift Crew? Here we are, together in this moment, brought to you by a virus, which is actually a set of programming codes to enact a complete, full system rewrite of every human organization on the planet, which gives us a fiery motivation to shift, now more than ever, towards a new Earth within a galactic community. So, I've made this transmission for you to add another critical part to the great information that's already being shared right now. The coronavirus, or COVID-19, is the break in the pattern of deception we have been looking for. And as we are in Uranus and Taurus for the next 7 years, this certainly won't be the last break from life as we've known it. So, please join me for the next few minutes to discover what's important to anchor and stay mindful of as you become a new Earth leader in this moment, because many people who are not ready are counting upon you to show the way, to be the lighthouse in the darkness in this global pandemic, which may continue for the next 3 to 7 months or not. If we really anchor some new frequencies, miracles are about to happen. Timelines are going to shift, but we have to do the work of which you are totally capable. Now, as you can already see, this moment is rapidly shifting you and I and everyone into the Aquarian age of group health and collective wisdom, plus collective action. It truly takes all of us to network and participate at this time. And even the most average person is now having to surrender their fight for bad health and psychological limitations. You are awakening and committing more than ever to your expansion. And when we all do that, we are not only open to new opportunities, we become them. And that is the needed leadership that is requested right now. It's what you came here to do. In these times of the shift, you either lead a more aligned life voluntarily, or it will be forced upon you as the external conditions of our shared environments change. And playing a game of catch-up is going to be stressful for you if that is the case. So, before we dive into the new codes, we remember what is important. As many good people and spiritual leaders have already stated, we must do what is necessary to take care of our families, communities, and those in need by getting food and supplies and initiating self-quarantine if needed, but also by flat out not buying into the fear. Change is here. It's going to continue to come. This is not the first transformation towards New Earth, and it won't be the last until we have a full and total new set of human values and systems in place to make us more compatible to living in harmony with ourselves, the planet, all her species, and with the galactic community. If you've been praying for change, well, it's undeniably here. Welcome. And just like that phrase, you can't have your cake and eat it too, well, you can't have the old Earth and the new Earth at the same time. So you have to choose, or it will be chosen for you. So this is the reality of the shift. Here we are in a massive global pattern interrupt that will leave us forever changed by the time we arrive to the other side of it. Again, be prepared for the next 7 years to be like this, with a few breaks here and there. To start, sometimes you have to have the breakdown before you have the breakthrough. Or, as they say in AA, the first step to recovery is admitting that you have a problem. And we have a shared global human problem. But it's truly the opportunity if we take it. This global level breakdown is not happening to us, but for us. So the opportunity here is for a global level breakthrough, which again, we call a pattern interrupt. That will ultimately assist us if we seize the opportunity it's giving us to heal and realign what's broken with human actions and their relationships to nature as nature, patterns of human paradigms and behavior that are fundamentally disconnected from representing and protecting life on this planet, which means being fundamentally disconnected to source and therefore lost. So, the first reckoning in this moment of stopping our old collective patterns is that we have to stop playing the collective victim role of a lost people on a lost planet. That's done because the door is open to come back to the galactic garden now. But there is a specific way to do that, which really means taking responsibility for the shift we are in because in a free will universe, every lesson and perspective is a choice you and I made. But now, we find ourselves at the moment where the wisdom in the lesson is ready to be learned, as well as the opportunity waiting for us to create a greater life of purpose, not just individually, but globally, to really redefine human not as a noun, but as a magical action. So, if you want a new paradigm, the current one you are in has to go, has to be deconstructed, has to be given a fever to expose all the beliefs that went into creating it, which again shows us what we chose in order to empower us to our ability to choose. Disempowerment and deception comes before clarity and empowerment, which includes exposing not only toxic beliefs of extreme people on the right, but also many weak and limited beliefs that the New Age has also upheld. And Aquarius energy is about working this global equation out together. There is no us and them. There is only one species of human. And we have to own the reflection that we see in the mirror of self and other and get our collective self to 5D quantum level health. And that takes being the architects and builders of new societal environments that value our power as creators, lovers, and stewards of the garden. And as there is a brief collective scream in terror, before we get our wits and our strength together, you must understand this is part of the awakening. Source energy, ascended masters, angels, spirit guides, Ra, other galactic squads are here to guide you and assist you, but also are not here to save you. You have to save you so that you become a master of your own empowerment. To die to the old ways and rise up knowing the truth of what you are, who you are, and where you are, aka quantum timeline frequency selectors and epigenetic programmers of feeling and manifestation. This is the path of you as the healer in the name of the shift, to examine what is wounded within yourself collectively, and that this virus is showing us a real truth. We are one planet. What one person thinks, believes, and does affects all here, including other species and environments. We are synergistically linked. I said this at the beginning of the new year on my New Year's transmission. 2020 is the year where we begin to wake up in the vibration of Aquarius to collective health. That collective health matters just as equally as individual health, and that they are no longer separate from one another. So, the negative effects of a planet commuting in a car every day, being in a socially toxic office and not outside in the sun, having bad lifestyle choices and abusing our planet for resources, or a corrupted mindset that breaks your health down, or the overvaluing of money and fame over what's really important. All these things are getting shook up because of the virus, to give us a break and say, hey, business as usual is lethal, and there is a better way for everybody and everything. We built what came before, and we can and will choose something else. And that something else that we get to create has to stand for our collective health, for all species and ecosystems on a unified planet, to develop a unified value system for the new Earth way of life that keeps our commitment, our mindsets, and our actions in harmony with the sacred. We step out of us versus them into one species, one planet, one source, infinitely expressed, yet connected together. And what we, you and I, need to develop are tools and language that upholds collective health and allows us to monitor it and feel it. For again, the new rule is what happens to another is happening to you. Now, just a brief note about how to stay aligned and healthy. I think the info is out there and that I don't need to repeat it here. I just want to underscore that you are always choosing what to focus your mind upon. And right now you are called to bring in the new blueprint, to again, be that lighthouse, that way shower, and to expand your aligned energy on only that which you desire with great feeling, prayer, and power until it is so. It is literally like changing the channel on the TV. Notice yourself when you are defaulting to old Earth, to the fear, separation, or chaos, and then must shift your attention to build a new neural network in your mind that locks into place this new Earth code so that your neurons will fire and wire together in this way permanently. And also, extend the power of prayer to others who are too stressed or sick to meditate for themselves right now. Pray for the recovery of those who are in sickness. Literally breathe for them. Be their lungs. And please use your platforms of communication not to be an aloof, indifferent conspiracy dealer, but to be a leader in health and wellness in whatever specialty you are familiar with, because people are searching for that now more than ever. And please, one last thing, stop sharing spiritual bypassing memes and beliefs that are used to shame others for the process that they need to go through. I'm all for humor, because it helps, but sticking your head in the sand and denying a reality that needs assistance is not your best. And the way to practice all of this is through compassion. You may not be going through anything, but other people are. So do something for them, lead a way, and share more love, not arrogance. That doesn't mean you leave your alignment, but rather lead your alignment that invites others to what is possible and to what is not being shared on the news that will empower them and lift them up. Trust me, you won't lose your alignment if you care for others. And again, if you are an expert in health or healing, then it's time to help others have access to the same information techniques that you have. So in your world, this is just about going beyond just speaking to the choir, isolated echo chambers that fail to communicate to the whole of us. Examine every limited belief you have here and throw it out the window. As many have said, you have been in training your whole life for this. Use the tools for all, for you are all. Now, I want to expose one inconvenient truth about the Aquarian age. The new Earth is not handed to us. We have to create it. And the only way to create it is to become it. So that means work. Total surrender to the work and those whom we serve. And so it is time for the now age, new age spiritual community to take its place in responsibility, change, and leadership as the authorities we have been looking for to assist others in knowing the freedom of healing and of vibrational alignment that you have discovered for yourself. To match the Aquarian age vibration means we have to take collective responsibility for what we have created. To say, look, diversity is one thing, but we can no longer support a system that delivers us a diversity of sick people and degraded environments, nor a system that makes money off of that and then say, well, that's just the way life is, which originates from beliefs and actions that hold ourselves as separate from the very earth that created your entire body from her body. So, this is the inconvenient truth. To actually stay alive, we cannot tolerate ignorance, because we are now more interconnected than ever before. And if we want to be really unified as a species and as a globe and as a culture that lives the values of New Earth, not just talks about them, then that means cleaning up our world. Because this level of a healed Earth is the only path, the only access code back to the galactic community. And so Aquarian energy is moving from personal healing to group healing, individual ancestral trauma to group ancestral trauma, which includes bad traditions and superstitions in every culture and country. It's about time to expose the collective dark closet and bring it back to the light of alignment. And in that vein of we are a collective, if the majority of humans are in a matrix slave prison, because we are all connected, even though you may be doing the most cutting-edge vibrational work, you are still connected to the psychic physical mass of humanity, because you are humanity, and that has been holding you, as well as everyone, back a bit, still tied to business as usual. So now that we are here in this global pattern interrupt, you will find this space and time will open up for you to be even more advanced in your articulation, grounding, and leadership as a New Earth leader and as a galactic community member. It's time for you to land the biggest vision for the benefit of all here. So, this is the new modality for all healers, shamans, meditators, etc. Receive the blueprints to build group energy healing technology and modalities, because having a humanity that is out of alignment is deadly. We must heal our cultural programming that has kept us blocked from vertical alignment with Source and Earth. And now, you can. Because your old way of life and your neighbor's old way of life is on lockdown. Planet Quarantine is stopping all our habits dead in their tracks to give us the space to ask what is important, not just for self, but for all, and to only do that. The shift is not about you switching from soy milk to almond milk and then proclaiming, yeah, I did it. This is about how everyone together fundamentally changes how we do everything. The emphasis there is on we. If you are a true Aquarian age person, then there is no us and them. It would be a spiritual lie to believe so. We have to figure out how to do we. That is the new level, and we are becoming familiar with what that is, and we've had practice via the internet. Now we need to turn that into real systems and structures. So, in this breakdown to get to the breakthrough, a lot of surrender is being asked of you. Everybody tends to talk a big spiritual game. Well, here you go. Here's your Aquarian Age challenge. Solve this interconnected crisis without money and without a vaccine. All the usual things that only treat the systems and the symptoms. Find the common thread of root cause and deliver that to all the species of the earth. Then we can go galactic. Don't be tempted to deny the experience before you. It's the opportunity. We have to build our muscles and earn our place in the cosmos or die. It's the butterfly fighting to get out of the cocoon, who becomes stronger by kicking away the shell of their former life. So, you have two choices here, life or death. And if you choose life, then it can't be the same one you've adopted from others and then suffered its toxicity. When you were a baby, you learned by example of life that was being set around you. You wanted and were motivated to learn how to walk because everyone else was walking around you. You felt compelled to keep up with those you loved as they zoomed around the house. If everybody was crawling, there would have been no incentive for you to learn how to stand up and to use your own 2 feet. So right now, we each must become the upright standing example in the room of the planet. The new blueprint. We have to stand up even larger than before and show a way, rather than complain about the chaos. This is a time of collective decision-making. You are being asked to participate with your wisdom to help all. You want the Aquarian Age? This is what we've got to do to get there. The problems of others are yours to bear because they all point to the same thing, a disconnection to life and source, harming animals and environments. The way we have, it's direct harm to ourselves. Because we are nature too. Every species comes from the same mother. We are one with her, and this is the moment where instant karma is a real thing until we correct our perceptions and actions. So I'm going to leave you with this very powerful message, and please do share this video with others who really need to hear what I'm about to transmit to you. If you want to know the truth, as a species, we've been in quarantine for about the last 12,000 years, and the biology of our cells is around 3.8 billion years old. The question to ask is, how did we ever stop talking to her, the earth, Gaia, Pachamama, Tonantzin-Coatlicue, and knowing that we are one with her and that we must cherish her, for without her we don't have anything, even our bodies. What happened? And how will we correct this fundamental relationship problem? Remember, we are each made up of a community of collaborative cells, but together as a species, we also form the united collaborative cell known as Mother Earth. And just as we are not separate from our divinity, we are not separate from our biology. Our divinity influences our biology, and our biology influences our divinity. The correct course of action is that us, as an infected global cell, goes into quarantine to get our new house into order. Then, as a healed and united global cell that is one with source energy and in good relation with the mother, can then re-enter the larger community of cosmic planetary cells to contribute our well-earned wisdom to a larger galactic body as very equal players. So, when there is nowhere to run, in reality, it's time to confront what we hold against ourselves that keeps us collectively in deception. And to begin this level of self and group inquiry, you must remember that fear is an ally, not an enemy. You use it as such, not the other way around. What you resist will persist, so bravely go into your fear. Learn what it has to share with you, sit with it. Only then will you be able to be guided back to yourself, back to your center and power, not through soothing lies or cover-ups, but a reckoning to your ability to rise in power through self-love and healing, to serve your community and your world in this moment, bigger than you ever thought possible because you were born capable. The truth of our physical design is that we are an infinite adaptation machine that can respond and adjust to match any situation. So it is us who must choose wisely. What is that vibrational situation or environment, both inner and outer, that will code our physical structure to be a match to it? Heaven or hell on earth? This is the only choice right now. So I encourage you to become brave in the challenge of facing and integrating our ancient fears that are deep within us, so that we will meet the dawn of a new earth with nothing to hide and everything to give. To enter this cave is to actively practice in the art of silence so that you can address what is held within you that you have carried for generations since the time of the great forgetting. Sit with the ancestors that now live in your bones, blood and cells, and now bring them forward to the light of healing and evolutionary adaptation. We do not need to carry the same beliefs we had yesterday forward. Today's a new day. If you choose, there's nothing to renew about how we've done it before at all. So what would happen if you woke up and were living in your fully activated life on New Earth under the light of the sixth sun? What would that look like? What would that feel like? How would you behave? What would be the thoughts that you would think? What would be the daily actions you would take? Paint the picture of being there and arrive now. Ride the energies of destruction and creation, and author as your own authority a new way for all. We are resetting the structure of the house of we to run and operate our bodies and our cultures in alignment with life, nature, and the stars. Your mission right now is to keep your head above water until you have built enough muscles to stay aligned to the larger nature around you, until it is second nature. Maintain focus over distraction. To do this, as 2020 is the fork in the road between old Earth and new Earth, see these two energies of destruction and creation as two different geometric grids overlaid on the Earth right now. One you could call the red grid of death and control, and the other grid is the white grid of light, sovereignty, and sacred alignment. The red grid is feeding back a human-only channel of fear and isolation. The white grid is alive in connection to the sacred, all nature, generosity, and support. It's a grid which is both connected vertically to the heavens and the earth and to each other, which includes all species here. Step into your responsibility, expand your energy field, and lead. Breathe in the air of New Earth, be her lungs, because you are her voice. Your bodies are made of her. Rise, 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 and breathe for her as her, for we two are one. Call upon the vast armies of light of a million suns and more to defy reality in order to align to the new one. To become the environment of a new earth, commit with everything you have. Stay healthy and up-level your immune system. Serve daily what is needed to be served right now. Help others to be cared for, encouraged, and supported, to be positioned into alignment. Guide them to focus their awareness out of the deception into the shift, by you being there first as the living example and the lighthouse. For we mirror those who are around us in our environment, both physically and online. So again, be the example of the new earth, of health, of galactic culture, now more than ever. And say to yourself, I am responsible for cleaning up the world by cleaning up my mind, body, and spirit, and then loving from my heart all sentient beings everywhere. Now go out there and let your corona, your aura of light and truth be seen. You are safe, you are powerful, you are here to do what you came here to do for self and others. I am so proud of you for stepping up this way. There is more to come in the form of cleansing and trainings from all of us as a united and activated new earth. Stay tuned. Love you so much.